Hi guys, it's Angie, Tekknowgerl, and I'm about to get out and do my walk. It is 8:24, and I don't have a lot to talk about today. So, one thing I am going to tell you about is I got a cat, and his name is Meatloaf, like the musician Meatloaf. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. So let's get on up, okay? Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna take my walk. All right, you guys, that is the security guard. His name is Kai, and he's the one who told me about Meatloaf. Well, he had passed out these flyers. You know, he put the flyers up all over the place. So, oh Lord, I gotta get my run keeper going. Did I even bother to turn on my stupid? Let's see. Didn't turn on my Bluetooth. My Bluetooth. There we go. All right. And my run keeper. And he's always got something funny to say, huh? Oh, that's right. We're going the other way today. I forgot. I had to bring my gloves. It's chilly out here today. So, we're going to walk to Plummer and, you know, come up the hill like we do. I hope I'm not clicking. I'm wearing my camera in a different spot because it's so cold out here. And so the microphone is on the bottom of the camera. And so, you know, it picks up all those sounds. But, not to worry. So, I don't know much about Meatball. I know his name. And that's about it. You guys remember that I was talking about I wanted to, get a pet, a companion. And, well, it's quite interesting. Let's see. Remember I told you guys that the Fix-It man, Brad, was out on some kind of medical leave. And so I was telling you guys that one of the benefits of him working here was that he would be able to live in one of the units in my building. So, so I guess when he got sick, I guess they gave him a notice or something to leave or whatever. And he left, but he left meatloaf. And I think it was about, well, they said it was about, wait, let me, hold on. Morning. So, sorry, he's making too much noise. I had to let him pass. So yeah, they told me that when he left, he, I guess they didn't know that he had left already. And so, I'm trying to get this ear thing on, and this man is riding around here making all this damn noise. But, so when he left, they didn't know that he had left. And, you know, they went into his place. I guess they kind of confirmed that he had left. And so they went into his place and they found Meatloaf, you know, walking around, crying and everything. And so my neighbor Susan, who lives on the second floor, said that she would foster Meatloaf, but that she wasn't going to be able to keep him. So I guess when she got tired of him or whatever, is when they put up the posters telling us that, you know, hey, we got this cat and we're trying to find a home for it. And that's where I came in. And I was like, hey, I'll take him. And that's how I ended up with Mr. Meatloaf. So I know his name is Meatloaf. He's a big, not huge, but he's an adult, long hair cat. I don't know if he's been spayed or neutered. I don't know if, you know, he's had his shots or anything like that. But when he came in, I got him about, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock yesterday. And he went straight to under my bed. And he stayed there for a good amount of time. And then about, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock, he, you know, I guess he kind of ventured out because I was quiet. I wasn't asleep. But I did have my headphones on, and so I was basically, good morning. I was basically, you know, I was basically just you know, messing around on my computer, getting, I don't know, I guess you could call it tips and tricks on, you know, getting a new cat, adopting a new pet or whatever. And so, you know, it was kind of interesting because he had stayed under there the whole time. And, you know, I set up everything for him near my bed because I knew that he wasn't going to come out to, you know, use a litter box or get something to eat. So I put everything close by him. And I ended up finding a website called The Cat Site. Yeah. And I posed a question to them, to the forum, asking them, hey, the cat is under the bed. How long is he going to be there? Is he going to come out and eat and drink water and take a poop? And some people got back to me, which was really cool. And they were very helpful. And, so now I have a full-grown cat. And he's, like I said, he's not huge, but he's not little. All of the cats I've ever had, except for Coco, they were short-haired tabbies. All of my cats. But I remember going to the shelter years ago when Brittany was still in elementary school. And we went to the shelter to find a cat. And there was Coco, this long-haired, chocolate-colored cat. And he just kept yapping and yapping and yapping every time I would go to a cage to take a look at another cat. And then when I got to his cage, oh, he just made love to me. He was just all over the place, on Brittany, on me, rubbing up against the fence, and just because they have them in little kennels, and he was in a caged kennel, and he was just rubbing up the kennel and just giving us all the love. So we had to take him because he wanted us to take him. So, we got the information about, how he got there and if he had any issues and things like that. And we took Coco home. The problem was with Coco, he had some kind of cancer. And he ended up dying. And so that was the last long-haired cat that I had. But like I tell you, he was a chocolate color. So, when his hair would shed or whatever, it didn't make a big announcement to everybody who came to visit, hey, there's a long-haired cat here. There was, I'm sorry. I was like reminding myself I'm on the hill. There was, meatloaf. I keep wanting to call him meatball, but he's white. He is all white, and I don't understand why Brad would name him Meatloaf. I understand that he likes the singer Meatloaf, but the cat doesn't look like Meatloaf. He looks like, dare I say, cocaine. I wouldn't name him cocaine, but he's white. That's how white he is. And his eyes are like a greenish color. He's beautiful, but he does need some manicuring, some beautifying, because he's got a beautiful coat of fur, and if it weren't like matted and kind of like a dirty like film on him, I think he could put in a show. He's really pretty, and when he comes out of hiding for good, so I can get a good picture of him, then I'll show him to you. But I did take a picture of him this morning. He came out and he got into one of the they gave me 2 towers. These people on this base, they are so generous. They really are. And there was, I guess, a donation. I don't know where this stuff came from, but there are 2 towers, kitty condos. One is very tall, and the other one is kind of like the height of where my windowsill begins. And so Meatloaf was in that little tunnel of that particular kitty condo. So I took a picture of his face, and I'll put that here in the video. But now that he's decided that he wants to come out, he doesn't come out for long. He didn't, come out and walk around. I don't know who that is. He didn't, walk out and make himself known. He didn't do that. But he just came out, sat for a minute, and then went in hiding again. But I can tell he's getting acclimated. But my problem is he is crying a lot, and it's not, I don't think he's trying to communicate with me about being hungry, because the food is right there. I have some dry food. I have to buy some wet food. But they gave me a bag of dry food. They gave me a 14-pound box of kitty litter and a bunch of toys. And what else did they give me? I think that's it. Well, and the dishes, the little dish, I guess that came from Brad, because there's one for water and there's the one for the dry food. But I'm gonna have to get one for the, the wet food. He's got a little bed, and that's basically it. I didn't get a pooper scooper. So probably by the time I get back, Meatloaf will already have done his business, and I can get that cleaned up. I'm gonna have to use some kind of DIY pooper scooper until his scooper comes. It's supposed to come tomorrow. I did have to spend a little bit of money, but not a whole lot. And it's very strange to me, because Susan, that's the lady I told you who fostered the cat until I got him, she said the cats don't eat wet food. And I've never heard that before. I've always given my cats wet food in the morning and another dose of wet food in the evening. Half a can. So that's 1 can a day. Half of the can in the morning, half of the can in the evening. So I don't know where she got that from, because it was my understanding that the cats were, I don't know if I'm saying the right word, carnivores, that they eat, meat. But I could be wrong. I'm not a cat expert. I just like cats. I haven't learned as much as I can about them. But in the comments below, if you know something about cats that would be helpful to me, either about cats or getting a new pet after a long period of time, give me your hints and your tips and your tricks and all of that. But it was really amazing that the stuff, because when they first told me about him, they really didn't know anything. They didn't know his name. They didn't know if he's a boy or a girl. The shots and the physical, and whether he's got any ailments or anything I should know about, and whether or not he had been spayed or neutered. Nobody knew anything. And Brad is not here. They don't know how to get in touch with him. So, I had been asking around our new maintenance guy and our facilities guy, they brought the big tower in together. And so I was asking them, I was like, well, have you guys heard from Brad? Do you know whether he's coming back or he's gonna come visit, come check on his cat, you know what I'm saying? But Dan, I'm going uphill, y'all. Dan told me that that Brad was going to some church with one of the guys who lives in building 5. And so I said, well, listen, you know, let him know that I have Meatloaf, and you know, if he wants him, I'll take care of him until he can get himself together, and you know, pretty much you know, tell me what you can about Meatloaf so I can properly care for him. So we'll see what happens. My run keeper stopped. I have to start it again. Is he talking? He's saying something. Okay. Anyway, so I didn't sleep last night. I can't wait to, because I plan on going to sleep at about 1, and it seems like, pardon me, seems like as soon as I closed my eyes was when Meatloaf came out and started talking to me. He was really crying a lot. And so I have to do some research now to find out how long he's gonna be doing that. Not that I have anything else to do, but I would like to get some sleep at night. And oh my goodness. And so yeah, if you guys know anything about crying cats, y'all can tell me about that too. I was talking to what's his name? I see a coyote. I was talking to Kai, the security guard, and he was like, oh, it's only gonna take about a week before he stops doing that. So if that's true, you guys let me know. But I already know that Kai wanted him. And I don't remember what the reason was that he said he didn't take him. But yeah, so, you know, that's, oh boy, that's something I'd like to know too. I mean, if there's something I can do, because there's this guy on YouTube, his name is Jackson, I think Galaxy, but I know his first name is Jackson, and he was saying that I need to develop a routine for Meatloaf. You know, start feed him. The last time I feed him should be about an hour and a half before I'm ready to go to sleep. And then after he eats, he's gonna, you know, clean himself, take a bath, whatever cats do. And then I'm supposed to play him until he can't play no more. You know, with the little toys and stuff. And then he would eventually, after about 2 weeks, that Meatloaf will be on my routine, and we'll both be asleep at night and up in the day. So let me know if that's true, all you cat owners out there. Shout out to official D Spot. He said he don't like cats. He said he thinks they're sneaky, which they are, but it's not their fault. They're not doing it on purpose. they are predators by nature. So it comes natural to them to sneak up on things. It's just what they do with their soft pads on their paws, or whatever you call cats' claws. And you know, they stalk. That's their thing. They're stalkers, stalking their prey. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I kind of wish I had that ability. I don't know what I'd be stalking. I'm already scared to death. But one thing I can tell you about Meatloaf, he is not a small cat, and I've got to get used to that because he's big. Not fat, just big. And I remember when I lived, when I lived in Tekknowgerl Park, there was a place called Fritzy's Mobile Pet Grooming. And my cat then was Salem. And I wanted Salem to, have a spa treatment. It cost like $60, but it was well worth it. And they come right to your house, take your little kitty over to their mobile unit. It's a wonderful van. It's all set up. They got a wash table, they got a blow dryer thing, and the spa treatment it smells really, really good. Clean and fresh. So I thought I would do that for Meatloaf. I'm sorry, I forgot you guys need to see something. I'm just trying to catch my breath. I thought I'd do something like that for Meatloaf and get him nice and pearly white, and just let him have a little treatment. I don't know what Brad did for him as far as caring for him, but he's a sweet cat. He really is. I just want him to get comfortable around me. Oh my goodness. I didn't drink any water this morning. And you guys remember last year when I was doing my little workouts and whatnot, that was one of the things that that all of the gurus tell you to do. The weight loss gurus, they tell you to have a glass of water first thing in the morning. Hi, David. I know, right? I hope they don't change anything. I don't know, but we got a couple of weeks of sleep on it. I'll see you later. Good morning. That was my good neighbor, David. David, he lives in my building on the second floor. And so, we see each other from time to time. He's always got this, pull along suitcase or whatever. And I asked him, where was your suitcase? And apparently today is the food pantry day here on base. Now I told you guys that they still do it. Every Friday they come to our building, and in the basement they just have a spread of all this food, and people can come down and get an issue of food. They changed the procedure because it was it was a time when it was kind of unorganized, and the guys would get down there super early and take all the food. And it was the same three guys, Richard, Lawrence, good morning, another Richard, and oh, what's that guy's name? He's in a wheelchair, but you know, he used to be a colonel in the army and he's always got a story to tell. Anyway, so, you know, these three guys would go down there and take all the meat. They would take all of the, you know, good fresh fruit and vegetables, and by the time everybody else gets down there, which is usually, well, they started at 10:30 and it's 10:30 till I think 12:30, if I'm not mistaken. And so, you know, well, when I went, a couple of times I went at 10:30 because that's what time they tell you to be down there. But it turns out that these guys were getting down there at 8 and 9 o'clock. And, you know, sometimes the food pantry people would show up early. And, you know, there was no supervision or anything down there. And so these three dudes would just take whatever they wanted, go upstairs, drop it off, come back downstairs, take some more stuff, go back up to their apartment, drop it off, and then come down for the 10:30. Good morning. They would come down for the 10:30 and, you know, take bags full like this is the first time they've been down there. And so they put a stop to that. But it was kind of too late for me because it had been going on for, I don't know, at least 3 years. I've been here 4 and I stopped going last year. So now they have a procedure and the guys can't do that anymore. You know, I'm sorry, you guys, that I ended up talking about meatloaf the whole time, but I'm very excited. And so I guess you guys can tell by the way I'm just talking. So it's 9:01. I guess we did about 30 minutes, huh? And I'm gonna go in here and upload the video, but I'm gonna move my furniture around because where my bed is, my bed has been there in that particular spot for about about a year. Say about a year. Anyway, so you know, if meatloaf is going to be hanging out, you know, under the bed, you know, I want to sweep and mop up so it's not so dusty. I'm sure it's dusty under there, and so I'm just going to move the bed over, sweep and mop, and then turn the bed around so it's facing, well, I'm going to turn it around. Not opposite, just another turn. So it's going to be, it's the foot of the bed is not going to be facing out. It'll be facing towards another wall. And I'm going to get all that done, and by that time, the video should be uploaded and you guys can watch it. But let's go on inside now. Everybody's talking about the new management company. Honey, I don't know. We'll see, huh? Hey, Ron. Hello. Meatloaf. Meatloaf. Kitty, kitty. Okay, I thought I was going to be able to show him to you guys. But I'll try and get some footage of him for maybe tomorrow's video. We'll see. Alright, you guys. Thanks for coming on the walk today. And I hope you have a good day. And we'll see you in the next one.